Just record it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we're recording. Welcome everyone to the TEAS workshop. So every Wednesday from 1:30 to 3:30, I'll run this lecture live. Okay. Now the way I run the lecture is that at any time you have a question, just ask. I'll stop. So right now we only have one person. So any question you have, you just stop me. If I go and say something where you go, I don't understand that, or hey, could you go backwards a little bit? I think I need to learn more about fractions or something like that. This is very flexible to whomever is in the lecture. Now I will cover a certain amount of material that is on the TEAS, and what my goal is to try and do the easier problems on the TEAS that most people get wrong. So you only need to get 2/3 of the problems right. You only need to get 1 out of 3 problems right. So you can't quite guess everything on the TEAS because there are always a few questions that are just completely different from any other question that's been on the TEAS. But most of it is fairly similar. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on the things that people tend to get wrong. So we'll get a few questions right that you would have gotten wrong before. Now, when you take the TEAS exam, they're going to give you a 4-operation calculator. So you don't bring your calculator, they will give you their calculator. So their calculator is limited to plus, minus, times, and divide. So just know that you don't have to do any hand calculation. This is all done for you. But the test will have things like square root or squared. Those buttons you will not be allowed to have. Okay. So anything like square root squared or something to the 3rd or 4th power, you'll just have to know how to do it on a calculator. Okay. Now, the other thing is that I'm going to create a Canvas website. So let's take a look at the Canvas website. So let me go over here. Okay, so let me share screen. Oops. Okay. And just like you, we're going to log into Valley College. Right here. And then right here. And then we'll go into Canvas. And this will be the CalWORKS TEAS preparation. Has my face on it. Okay. And then it'll go straight to modules. Now, I haven't finished this yet because we haven't finished the video. So on Wednesdays, I'll do a live workshop, and then whoever can attend. If you can't attend, that's fine. I understand that this doesn't fit with everyone's schedule, and that this is asynchronous, meaning that you're working on this on your own time. Now, when I click on my module, this will have a bunch of worksheets. So these are what I'm going to cover today. Now, after I finish doing this lecture, I will put a video up here. So you'll have a video, and then you have the worksheets that we'll work on. That'll be your homework. Okay. Now, I think in the original email I sent to you, I said, don't send me your homework. I actually want to go the other direction. Go ahead and email me your homework. So just take a photo of it and send it to kawhij@lavc.edu, and just make sure you put CalWORKS TEAS module and then put your name on it also. Okay. That way I just know who is actually doing stuff and who isn't. Because sometimes they'll ask me like, is anyone actually doing the work? And I can actually give them an answer, yes or no. Okay. Because if no one's doing this, we shouldn't waste money having these workshops. Okay. So let's say I click on one of these. So let me click on this one. And it'll have questions that you can work on. And then, oops, it's not what I need. And then we'll go backwards. Okay. Everything I send you will have solutions to it. So here is the worksheet, and then here is the solution. Now, what I want you to do always is as you do the problems, check your answer. The reason why you want to check your answer while you're doing the problems is you don't want to practice errors. So you don't want to do a whole worksheet and then get stuff completely wrong, because then it's hard to unmemorize it. Okay. So as you do a problem, check it, right? So check as you go. So these have solutions with it. If I ever give you a file that does not have a solution, just know that the solution will be on the bottom of the worksheet. So here's the worksheet. And then the solutions are on the bottom down here. Okay. So let's go backwards. Okay. So that's what your homework is. So every week on Thursday night, there'll be a video here, and then there'll be homework. After you finish it, take a picture of it, send it to me, and then you self-correct it yourself. Now, for a lot of people, myself included, let me be a person. For a lot of people, myself included, I hate Canvas. I just hate Canvas. Do we really have to use Canvas? And the answer is no. So I will also email you the video, and I will also send you the worksheets through your email. Okay. So if you say, you know what, I never want to enter Canvas, right? And I had emailed everyone the little link that you click on to add the Canvas to enter it. If you say, I don't want to do Canvas, can you just email me the worksheets? I'll just email them back to you, and you can email me the video when it's ready and the worksheets all at the same time on Thursday. Could you just do that, Dr. Kawai? It'd make my life easier, because I get email, I don't get Canvas. And I will say, absolutely. So while I will upload this stuff on Canvas, and it's there for you to look at, just in case the TEAS exam starts to come up and you want to review a topic, you can go backwards. Because the problem with email is that it's hard to keep track of email. A month ago, Dr. Kawai sent me a video about percents. Where the heck is it now? Right? But I could always point you to the Canvas and say, you know what, percents is in module 3. So just go to module 3, the video and the worksheets are there. So if you like, go ahead and use email, but just try to keep track of the videos, put them all in one place, put the links in a, keep them all in one place, keep the worksheets in one place. Now, what I will also do is I'll create a YouTube playlist. So every video I send you will be in a playlist. So at the very least, you'll be able to go through each of the videos as you need them. And in the description of the videos, I'll explain what I covered. So when you want to review for the TEAS, when it's, up close, you can just pop open one of these videos and walk through the questions as a way just to remind you about this material. Okay, so enough about this class. Let's get going. Let's start doing problems. Now, I hate to tell you, I have something very similar to dyslexia, meaning that I flip numbers or sometimes copy numbers incorrectly. So at any time, if you see me copy something wrong, just tell me and I'll fix it. Okay. All right. Let's get going. Oh, and then one more thing, by the way, I emailed this. For a lot of people who are working on this asynchronously, meaning that I'm not attending lecture, but I actually do have questions. I'd love to ask you questions. You're more than welcome to. So I emailed everyone my office hours. you're welcome to come in my office hours and ask questions. Um, I also sent everyone my phone number. So in case there are any issues where you're like, I don't understand how this thing works, just text me. We'll set up a time to meet on Zoom and I can help orient you as to how this workshop series works. Okay, now let's get going. Let's move this to over here. Okay, so if you have any questions, just stop me. And if you see me make a mistake by copying incorrectly, you just tell me and I'd be more than happy to correct it. Okay, so let's start. Okay. Now, one of the basic skills that they want you to be able to do is they want you to convert from fractions. So they want you to convert from fractions to percents. Oh, sorry, to decimals to percents. That's what they want you to do. So they want you to convert from fractions to decimals into percents and then to go backwards. So if I have a percent, I want to turn it into a decimal and then turn it into a fraction. Okay. So before we do this, we should talk about what are the different forms of a fraction that I can see. Okay. So they can give me something that looks like a mixed number. Oh. And then, by the way, if I don't get a lot of people coming to the workshop, I do this workshop uh, 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 once, actually twice every semester. So I have videos of old ones. So sometimes because I have more students in other workshops, it's usually better, mostly because um, they ask more questions. And then when they ask questions, they tend to be the questions that you have. So if a lot of people show up, I will put up the video from whatever we covered, the exact video that we did on Wednesday. But if you attend and you go, huh, this is a little bit different video, it'll be a different video that covers the same material. The main reason why I changed is because this video is probably better just because more people are there, more people ask questions. So I may mix and match depending on how many people show up to lecture. Okay. Again, I understand this is asynchronous. You don't have to be here. So, but I just want to tell you so you don't freak out where you go, this doesn't seem like he's wearing a different shirt now. Okay. So I might cut and paste from different videos that I think had more questions that anticipated questions you may have. Okay. So let's look at mixed numbers. So in terms of mixed numbers, I want to convert this to an improper fraction. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to go in a circle. We want to go this times this, and then this plus this. Okay. So I go 5 times 3 plus 1, and then I have the same denominator. Okay. Now go ahead and you do one. Let's make this 5. Okay. So go around in the circle, and then we'll do one more. Okay. So let's give it a shot. This one over here is 7 times 2. I'm sorry, 7 times 5 plus 2, same denominator. So 35 plus 2. Okay, now try doing this one. Okay. So I have 1 times 6 plus 5 over same denominator. So now I get 11 over 6. Okay, good. Now we should know how to go backwards. Okay. So we want to be able to go improper fraction to mixed number. Okay. Now let's say I have something that looks like 8 over 3. Okay. Now let me give people time to copy. Okay, now let's think about this. When I have something that looks like 6 over 2, this is equal to 6 divided by 2. So understand that this fraction is the same thing as division. Okay, they're the same thing. So what I want to do is I want to do long division. Okay. Now some of you are all freaked out going, I'm bad at long division, which is okay. Let me show you how to do it using long division. And if you're bad at long division, I'll show you how to do it with just a calculator. So think about in and out. The top number, the numerator, is going to be on the inside. The bottom number is going to be on the outside. And we go 3 goes into 8 2 times. That's my remainder. Okay. So my remainder is 2. And I want to use the same denominator. Okay. So I get 2 2/3. Okay. Now some people are able to do it in their head and some people aren't. That's okay. Now let's say you're one of those students who's really bad at fractions. Like I can't do long division, Dr. Quiet's always sort of been an issue. Like that's okay. We can use a calculator. Okay. So we'll go 8 divided by 2. Oh, sorry. 8 over 3 is equal to 8 divided by 3. And when I do that on my calculator, I get 2.666, a whole bunch of sixes and then a 6 and then a 7. Well, this is my whole number, this part right here. That's my whole number. Okay. Now my denominator is going to be the same. Right? This denominator is always the same, just like the denominator here was the same, right? the denominator there is going to be the same. Okay. So the only thing I got to really figure out is my numerator. So what I want to do is just take this decimal part. Okay. So whatever my numerator is going to be, it's going to be just the decimal part times the denominator, times the denominator. Let me make it this way. Let me make it prettier. Dot, 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 6, 7 times 3. Okay, so this will give me 2. So this right here is the denominator. Okay, that's the denominator, that's the denominator. Okay, so let me give you a little bit of time to copy, and then I want you to convert these, right, to a mixed number. Let's go. And then let's look at okay. So I don't care which way you do it, do either way, but have one way that you can depend on that you can do it right every time. Okay. So let's see. Let me go in and out. Okay. So the outside is 7, the inside is 20. 7 goes into 22 times. Okay. And then remember that we have the same denominator. Okay. Now, let's say you're doing the calculator way. You go 20 divided by 7. Okay. And this gives you 2.8571 dot, 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 dot. And then we know now that that right here, this right here, is your whole number part. We know that your denominator is going to be the same denominator. And now we want to look at 0.8571 dot, dot, dot times 7. And that gives me 6. Okay, so do one last one. Okay. So this equals to, well, it's not equal to, we're going to go 11 goes into 52 4 times. I get 44. So that gives me 8. So this is remainder 8. And I have the same denominator, right? That came from there. So this is 4/8 over 11. Or what I can do is I can do 52 divided by 11. That gives me 4.727272 ... It just continues to repeat itself. So this 4 is my whole number part. Okay, so let's subtract that 4. And then we're going to multiply this part, right? 0.7272 ... times 11. And that's going to give me 8. So you can see that both ways gives me the same answer. This way is a little faster, but hey, if you don't know how to do long division, then do that. Okay, let me give you a second to copy. And then if you have any questions, just ask me. And if you need me to slow up or anything, you just ask me. Okay, now. The TEAS exam is not so straightforward to say, convert this into an improper fraction or improper fraction into a mixed number, but it's pretty common for this to be in the middle of a problem, that they may give you a mixed number and you need to change it to an improper fraction and vice versa. Okay. Now, what we want to work on next is we want to work on doing the actual conversion that we talked about, right? Going from fractions to decimals to percents. So let's erase this. Okay. So let's first talk about converting fractions to decimals. And frankly, we've already done it over here, right? I have 8/3 divided by 3. I went from a fraction to a decimal. All you're doing is a division, okay? So if I want to go from fractions to decimal, I can go something like, let's say, 19/8. Well, fractions to decimal means, right? Remember that this means division. Okay? That means division. So in your calculator, you just do this. Okay. And I get 2.375. Okay, so let me give you a few more to try. Let's try 17/5, and then let's give you something like 6 and 1 20. Let's make this 3. Okay, so try both of those. So let's try this. So over here, we have 17 divided by 5. And I get 3.4. Okay. Okay. Now over here, the whole number is going to be the whole number part. This is going to be the decimal part. So over here, just do 3 divided by 20, which will give you 0.15. Okay. This part right here is the 3 divided by 20. Okay, which gives you 6.15. So you're not actually doing the division with the 6. The division just happens with the fractional part, and then just add the whole number part to it. Okay, so let me give you another one. So let's give you 19 and 5 over 8 is equal to. Give that one a shot. And you should be using your calculator for this. Okay. So I have 19 plus 0.625, and this part right here is 5 divided by 8. Okay, now let's work on the next part, which is decimals to percent. Okay, so this part right here was fractions to decimals. Okay. Let me erase this part over here. Okay. Now, let's do the next part. Let's go decimals decimals to percents. Okay. So what we want to do whenever we want to go from a decimal to percent, so let's say I have 0.51. Okay, is that we want to move the decimal 2 places to the right. Okay. So this one will turn into 51%. My decimal's over here. Okay. So let me give you a few. So let's convert these to decimal. Right. I want you to convert all of these to decimal. Now, most likely at some point right now, I'm going to cut over to my other video. So if you're shocked, like, hey, the lighting's different, the board is different, I'm wearing different clothes, that's why it happened. Okay. Okay, so this turns into, let's move this 2 places. So we go 1, 2, and we get, so we'll have a 0 here added. We'll get 230%. And then over here, we're going to move 2 places. And we'll have the new decimal spot will be there. So we'll get 0.35%. And then we'll move 2 places. And we'll get 60%. Okay. So the next question is, how do I go from a fraction to a percent? So what you do is you do a division, and then you move the decimal 2 places, and then it becomes a percent. So let's try. Let's convert these fractions to a percent. Okay, so let's do 7 divided by 8. Okay. So this is equal to 7 divided by 8, which is equal to 0.875. So now that's a decimal. But I want this to be a percent. So I'm going to move this 2 places. And it's going to be 87.5%. So Karina, are you okay with what we're doing? Are you comfortable with it?
Yes, Professor, yes.
Okay, good, wonderful. Okay. So stop me if I do anything where you go, I don't like that. Okay. So try doing over 25. Let's do 137 divided by 25. Let's do 6 and 3 over 4. And then let's do 7 and 1 over 8. Okay. So go ahead, convert those to decimal, and then move over 2 places. Okay, so let's take a look at this. 137 divided by 25. Okay. So this one is equal to 5.48. And then we're going to move this 2 places. so that we have 548%. Okay. Now this one we're going to do the same way we did it before over here with the mixed numbers. We're going to go 6 plus 3 divided by 4. Okay. This is going to give me 0.75. So I get 6.75. And then we're going to move the decimal 2 places, and we'll get 675%. Oh, 6, yeah. Okay, so try doing this one the same way with the mixed number. Okay, so this will equal to 7 plus 1 divided by 8. So this right here is 0.125. So I get 7.125, and then I'm going to move 2 places, and then I'll get 712.5, and then percent like that. Okay. Now we want to be able to go backwards. We want to be able to go from decimal to fraction, and we also want to go from percent to fraction. Okay. So those are the 2 big things. Usually they're not going to ask you percents to decimals or decimals to percent, because that's pretty straightforward. Usually they ask you something like this or like this. So either fractions to decimal or fractions to percents. Okay. So let's go the other direction. Let's first look at percents to decimal. I'm sorry, percents to decimal. Okay. So let's go convert percent to decimal. Okay. So I want to do something like 52%. Okay. Now we saw that when we went from decimals to percent, we moved the decimal 2 places to the right. Now, when going from percent to decimal, we're just going to do the opposite. We're going to move the decimal 2 places to the left. So you're going to move it 2 places like this. And then this will be equal to 0.52 like this. Okay. So it's just the opposite of this. Rather than going right, we're going left. So go ahead and convert these to decimal. Okay, so go ahead and try those. Okay, so we're going to move this 2 to the left. So that's a 0. That, right? The percent now goes away. Same thing here. We're going to move it 2 to the left. Let's put this in black. So over here we have 1.326. And over here, we're going to move it to the left and get 0.0892. Okay. And like I said, this may be in the middle of the problem that they give you, but I don't think they'll give you this problem, right? I think they'll ask you to change fractions to decimals and fractions to percents. And I think they'll ask you to do the next thing where we go decimal to percent, decimal to fraction. So this one, where we're working on converting decimals to fractions, this is definitely something that shows up. Let's give everyone a chance to catch up copying. And I should probably put equal signs here. Okay, so let's look at this. Yeah, let's look at this. So let's say we have 0.24. And I want to convert that to a fraction. Okay. Now you have to remember how, well, even before we say that, if we were to say this number in words, we would say that this number is 24 hundredths. Did I spell that right? Now you see my dyslexia coming up. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, hundredths. Okay, and the key here is that it has TH. Sorry, sometimes when you have dyslexia, you don't really trust the words that you write. They look right or they look wrong. Can't tell because the numbers get all flipped. Okay, so the way we would say this in words is 24 hundredths. And you're like, okay, why do I care about that? Well, think about this number. If I ask you what number is that, you'd say, oh, that is 1/4. What this fourth means is divide. This right here is equal to 1 divided by 4. Just like the number 2/5, this is 2/5. That means divide. Okay. So this is 2400. The reason why I know it's 100 is that this is the 10th place. This is the 100th place. There's no 1th place. This is the 1's place right there. There's no 1th. We go 1 in the 1 over here, decimal, then 10th, 100th. Okay. So this right here is equal to 24 divided by 100. You select what position is the last digit. So then just use your calculator. You get 0.24. Okay. So let's do some more of these. Okay, let's do 5.2, and let's do 3.176. Oh, actually, let's not do that. 0.002. I already have a 2. We'll go 25. Okay, let's do something like that. Oh, wait. What am I doing? I went from decimal to decimal. I have my fraction. I'm going from decimal to fraction. So there's my fraction, and then I've got to simplify this. So 4 divides into both of these. Sorry about being confusing. And then 2 divides into both of these. Oh, actually, 2 doesn't divide into both of these. And now I'm done. Hopefully less confusing. All right, try this one and try this one. So this is the way to make it into a fraction and then just simplify it. So this is in the 10th place. Now we're only converting the fraction. Now, if you wanted to, you can go 52 over 10, and you can also then go 26 over 5. If you wanted to, that's fine. That is actually the correct number. Now, depending on whether they give you a mixed number or an improper fraction, will determine which technique you can do. So you can put the entire 52 divided by 10. Or if the answer is a mixed number, you can just say, well, I don't care about the 5. That's a whole number here. That's a whole number for my mixed number. And then you can go, well, that's 2 over 10. And that'll be equal to 5, 1 over 5, like that. Okay. Now go ahead, do this one. Okay. So this right here is the 10th. This right here is the hundredths. This right here is the thousands. Okay. So I can either do 3025 divided by 1,000. And I don't like that one that much. right? Because you still have to simplify. I think it's much easier to do 3 and then do 25 over 1,000. And then when you divide both of these by 25, you'll get 3. I think 1 over 40. Let me double check that. Okay. And then that'll give me, yeah, 1 over 40. And if I wanted to, I can convert this into a mixed number by going 3 times 40 plus 1 divided by 40 is equal to 120 plus 1 divided by 40, 121 divided by 40. Okay. Now you can also do it this way, and this would give you, sorry, this way over here, and this would give you, if I divide it by 25, this would also give you 121 over 40. It doesn't matter which one you want. Which one, just do the one you like better. Now remember, it's a multiple choice test. So you just look at the answer and say, do I need a mixed number or do I need an improper fraction? And you move toward there. Okay. So go ahead, copy that. I'm going to turn off my wife's iPad because it's dinging and driving me crazy. Oh, sorry. I, for the life of me, can't get my wife's iPad to be quiet. All right, done. It's been silenced. Okay. So let's go to the next step. So my apologies. That's the problems with doing stuff from home. Okay. Now let's go do the last one. And the last one is converting percents to fractions. Now, for this one, there's like a series of trick problems. So you could, if you wanted to, go from percents to decimals by shifting the decimals, and then doing this right here, this technique right here. We're saying, is it in 10th or 100th position to find out what the fraction is? But there are some trick questions where if you use a different technique, this will always work. Okay, so we're going to convert percent to fraction. Okay. So let's first do what I talked about. So let's say I have something that is like 22%. I can change 22% by moving this 2 places. Okay, into a decimal. And then I can say, what place am I in? I say this is the 10th. This is the hundredths. And then this turns into 22 over 100. And then I can simplify. I can divide by 2. I can divide by 2. And I get 11 over 50. Okay. So let me give you one. Let's give you 6%. And go ahead, use this technique. Just shift it and turn it into a decimal by shifting 2 places, and then find what place it is and convert that into a fraction. So I can move this 2 places. So I can say that this is equal to 0.06. And then I can see that this is the hundredths place. And then this will turn into 6 over 100. And then when we simplify it, we get 3 over 50. Okay. Nothing wrong with doing it that way. Now, let me show you a little trick. Okay. Well, before that, let me let you copy that. Okay, now let me show you a little trick. Okay, let's look at a little trick. Trick is vocabulary. Look at the word per cent. Think of that as Latin. What a cent is per 100. Now, what the word per means is divide. Divide by 100. So the symbol percent is the same thing as 1 over 100. So if we did the problem that we did before, okay, where we go 6%, that's equal to 6 times 1 over 100 is equal to 6 over 100 is equal to 3 over 50. We got the same answer. Okay. So the usually at this point, a student will ask me, "Hey, Dr. Kwai, why do I need this extra little fact? Because I seem to be able to do these problems without this little bit of knowledge." Okay. There's a little trick problem that shows up on the teas. I've had multiple students tell me like, "Oh yeah, I had that problem." So let me sort of show you. This is something you'll see on the teas. Okay. Now, just so you know, they may also ask you this one and this one also. But if they decide that, okay, there's a certain number of hard problems, and I'm going to make this into one of my hard problems, this tends to be the one that they give you, something like this. Okay, it's very common. Okay. Now, if you go, oh, okay, I'll use my calculator to turn this into a decimal, because my first step is to move my decimal 2 places. There's no decimal here. So I will convert this to a decimal by doing 5 plus 1 divided by 3 on my calculator. And it gives me a whole bunch of 3s that go on forever. I can't move it 2 places because there's no end to all of the 3s. Okay. So we can't use this technique up here to convert that into a fraction, but we can use this idea. Okay. So let's remember percent is equal to 1 over 100. So 5 1/3 times percent. Okay. So let's convert this into a mixed number. 3 times 5 is 15, plus 1 is 16. Okay. Remember that percent is equal to 1 over 100. Okay. I just converted this to a mixed number. So now I have 16 over 300. Okay, let me give you one. Let's go. Let's change this number, 11. Percent to a fraction. See? So remember that we want to convert this to a mixed number. So we get 6 times 11 is 66 plus 5 is 71 over 6. And my percent is equal to 1 over 100. Okay, let's just do one more of these. Convert. Give me 1 second. Five divided by 12% to a fraction. Okay. So we get 5 over 12 times 1 over 100 is 5 over 1200. And then we're done. Okay, now. So in terms of studying for the T's, you want to start making a little cheat sheet of like small little things that like I would probably forget that if I don't look at it the night before the T's exam. So I would probably put something like this question. I'd either put it on a cheat sheet or I'd put it on a flashcard. I would put the question on the front of the flashcard, and then I would put how to do it in Beck in your own writing. So you want to start collecting these little problems as we do problems on the board. The ones where you go, oh, I'm going to forget that. And the ones where I go, this shows up on the teas, this one right here. Exactly. You want to make sure you put them on a flashcard. So as you get close to the teas, you go through the flashcards, make sure you're practicing the problems that appear year to year to year to year to year.